Angelina Heart. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for including me in your interview today. It's nice to be with you and your audience.
Thank you for accepting this interview because we're going to speak about twin flames today. And you have a different point of view than other people I've actually spoke to twin flames about and with. So I'm thrilled. Let's start by how do you see a twin flames compared to a soulmate? What is the difference?
Well, I think because of the modern jargon, many people have misinterpreted or at least compared a soulmate and a twin flame. A soulmate being a compatible person that you have known many lifetimes, or maybe someone who has come through your soul fabric, or maybe even an aspect of yourself. A twin flame is actually the other half of your soul essence, your very unique vibratory soul essence that was issued forth from the first split of God, and it's you in your complementary energetic form. So it's vast, it's huge. When you speak about the soul, your soul contains universes and galaxies, and it's, this little fractal part of yourself having an experience in third dimension on planet Earth at this particular time-space continuum in a duality experience is just a little teeny part of who you are.
So how does that split of the soul happen? When does it happen? Does it happen, is it in every lifetime the same split, or is it different split each lifetime? How does this work?
The twin flame experience, the soul, was the way that God wanted to know itself through reflection. The individual expressions of God, known as soul, divided themselves and went through many, many layers of vibratory experience. What we're experiencing here on planet Earth is a very unique, you can call it an experience or an experiment. But the farther we put parts of ourselves or projected parts of ourselves into vibratory experience, the farther it removed itself from source, the lower and denser the vibration became, until such time as the twin souls or the twin flame began to forget that they were unique and wonderful expressions of God, individualized. Mm-hmm. And as it moved away from this vibration, the potential for miscreation with the light, with the twin flame energy, was huge. Now, these are instantaneous atomic creators, twin flames are. So there's really no true separation with the twin flames because these are two energetic forces that cannot exist without one another. But there was a division at one point into gender, or by gender I mean one half of the soul carrying a primary charge of the divine feminine with the seed of the divine masculine held within, and the other carrying the masculine with the seed of, the feminine with the divine masculine. You've seen this symbolized with the yin-yang. Mm-hmm. And so it was a separation in consciousness alone. That is when we came into the duality experience. That's when twins split. Mm-hmm. And we have incarnated so many times in both genders, learning how to balance these two co-creative energies and to bring the fullness of the highest vibration of love into these lower, denser vibrations. So as long as you've been in this density and incarnating on this planet, the twins have been split in consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So how do we put those two pieces together? Is it a must? Do we need to find, or do we need to bring in the other part of the masculine or feminine energy that we're missing in order to fully live our life purpose and be happy? Or can we do without it? Or how is this working out?
Well, there was an activation, literally an activation in our DNA that began about a decade ago. People are having this intense, intense longing to join with their twin flame, but it's still being perceived through the lens of the ego. And the ego says, I am lacking, therefore I must have, and it goes searching for another soul to contain that vibration. Now, every single experience you have, every person who is in your life, every condition, every place, everything, will hold up a mirror for your own evolution so you can see where you are. You're basically the only actor on the stage, and everything else and everyone else is a prop. For example, you play a different role for, say, your lover than you do for your child or for your friend. We're each playing roles for one another in this experience, and the whole purpose of the experience is to evolve and balance these two primal forces of creation so that we can responsibly bring them together in this world for a co-creative activity. So a soulmate or a member of your soul family or soul fabric can hold up a mirror of that balance for you at any particular time. Remember, this is an energetic essence. It's not something that wears skin and bones. So you can embody more and more and more of the balance of these two energies, and it will show up in everything. So in essence, it's the ultimate romance because you not only romance yourself, but you romance everything before you. You romance the one, the God in everything. So it's not just a particular relationship with one particular person.
So you're saying that we can find that in each moment with everything that we are in contact with or communicate with. Right now, you could be a potential twin flame for me, for example.
I would hold that mirror for you. I think what you're really asking is people are longing for this relationship, and they want to see it in the symbol of their world as a relationship with another person, particular person, you know, their counterpart, their mate. And that longing, as I say, is interpreted through the ego. Now, let me tell you a quick story about how I experienced it. My twin flame came to me through the etheric. I still work with my twin flame through the etheric. It allows part of who I am to guide me from another domain that does not include ego. It allows us to work together in a very profound way to create through the twin flame heart womb and to channel that energy or that light through my heart as an incarnate being in this dimension. Now, when this first happened to me, it was in about 2001, I was expecting this to show up as another person physically. And I was married. I was perfectly happily married, and I couldn't figure out how this could possibly happen and work out and be kind and loving. Well, my guides, and I've been working with my spirit guides for many, many years, said, if you can't see your husband as your twin flame, you are never going to see your twin flame. Well, first, that made me kind of angry. I mean, I didn't talk to my guides for a few weeks after that. But they said, let us take you on a journey. And I happened to be in Lausanne at the time, and I was walking around the lake. It was raining, and all the tourists had scurried inside. And they said, feel the wind upon your face. Feel the wind as God. Make love with the wind. And they had me start pouring this love out to the wind, and the wind returned this gentle, profound love in an exponential way. And it came straight to my heart chakra. It was amazing. The next thing they had me do was make love with an animal that was passing. They said, just pour this love out to this animal. Just find out what this feels like to experience truly giving love, because love is about giving always. So I started to have this amazing experience, and they took me through loving trees and all kinds of things that, you know, that were not human relation related. And when I went back to my hotel, there was my husband, and they said, now, give this same love to your husband. Don't tell him what you're doing. Just pour this love to your husband's heart, knowing that is only God before you. Love the God before you. And as I did it, his soul engaged, and that energy came back to me in such a profound way, and it was an orgasmic exchange. In other words, a buildup of energy that had an energetic release, an orgasmic release at the heart. And I just became this living generator of love through my own physical heart field. It was the first time I really understood how profound it was to give love, because I'd only interpreted it through the lens of ego before.
Well, I guess that's something that you need to practice and feel and not hear about, right? You can truly understand it through what you lived.
Practice. And to balance these two energies within, I think that most people want to start connecting with their twin flame. Many of them already are, through the dream state and through the etheric state. They're having these profound experiences and they don't really understand them, but they're feeling them, they're seeing them. People write me all day long, every day, saying, what's happening to me? Where is this coming from? I have this lover that comes to me every night and awakens every cell in my body. And all of the energy moves to my heart, and I have this orgasmic experience in my heart. And I trade places with this being back and forth. And at first they think they're insane, but they're actually drawing forth more and more of this energy through the vibrational realms from the original soul content. And as they begin to love and give love to this, it creates like a beacon of light, a magnetic beacon of light, and it starts to draw it from the other dimensions. And then begins to appear in the symbols outside of themselves as well.
Mm-hmm. So you're experiencing that with that energy that is outside in a different dimension. It's not here. It's not physically here. So our twin flames is not, as you're explaining to us, here in this physical body, but it's a connection beyond this physical realm.
It's beyond this physical realm, but you are embodying it in this dimension. And the people before you, your lover, your husband, someone new that you may draw to you, has the ability to be overshadowed by this energetic essence, and it becomes a reflection, as all relationships are. In your wonderful interviews with people about soulmate, and they have been wonderful, they spoke specifically about the inner work that it is to draw this compatible mate, because they can only reflect back to you what you embody in resonance. Mm-hmm. It's the same concept. Let's talk about twin flames for just a moment as what that actually means. You know, if you say the word twin flames, that doesn't mean anything to most people. What is it? These are the primal, energetic, inseparable forces of creation. It is the union of these two forces from which all creation exists, whether it's from the Mother, Father, God, or the infinity of space in the star system, or down to the smallest atom. Everything contains these twin flames. You were asking me about twin flames as relates to your soul and as human beings. But the smallest atom contains these twin flames. They are the inseparable forces of creation. And through our interpretation through the human lens, we've come to describe these two energies in the form of feminine and masculine. The divine feminine being the limitless ocean of love that we consider to be God in unformed potential. Just love. The divine masculine, and the feminine, by the way, has a negative charge. So, like, if we pull it into physics a little bit, it's a little easier to understand. The divine masculine is the will, the thought, the lightning strike as large as a universe that literally strikes or impregnates this unlimited ocean of love. And what happens in that reaction is that the electrons become very excited and they start a circular spin. It's kind of like completing an electrical current. You have a negative charge and a positive charge, and when they cross in a balanced way, electricity or the electrons begin to flow in a particular pattern. Well, this is what happens when these twin flames join, but they move so fast that they create the matrix of form that we know as a toroidal field. It looks like a donut. Did you ever learn about the toroid in your physics classes at school?
No.
A toroid.
Or maybe, but I wouldn't recognize the word in English.
This field surrounds every living thing. It surrounds your heart. It surrounds your body. It surrounds every cell. It surrounds our earth. It surrounds our universe. If you look at the nebulas that they send back the pictures from NASA, etc., and the other outer space programs, you actually see the energy or the dust particles taking the form of this field that looks like a donut. And when the electrons begin to move so quickly, they're pulled both up and into from above to this hole, the vortex in the middle of the donut. Mm-hmm. And they collide so fast that they fuse. And when they fuse, massive amounts of holographic energy are produced. So if you just took the example I just gave you, and you think of the Mother and Father God making the first split, their desire to know themselves in reflection, then what issues forth from that first split is what scientists call the Big Bang, the ongoing moment of creation, God expressing itself in limitless forms. And twin flames, as soul matter from human beings, are from that first split. And so if you understand twin flames as energetic forces, it takes on an entirely different meaning, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Besides the romantic idea of Bob and Mary get married and have children and share their finances. It's a wholly different experience.
Well, then I guess as human beings, though, there's some female that would have that masculine then twin flame energy in a woman body then.
I carry a masculine charge. I'm in a feminine body so that I can learn to balance the feminine portion of that energy within myself. As I say, you've incarnated in both genders many times as you've learned to balance these energies. Now, what does this mean to human beings at this time? Why have we had this code reactivated within us, and why is this their intense longing to consciously rejoin with our twin flame?
Especially right now, yeah. A lot of people are feeling that.
They're feeling it profoundly. And of course, do you think that the correlation of this massive internet dating business was a coincidence? Mm-hmm. It's not. Even though it's been filtered through the lens of ego, it's still the catalyst to get people thinking and feeling and knowing and recognizing that it is the time to the return to unity consciousness. That unity consciousness is not only with our twin flame, but also the remembrance that we are part of God, individual expressions of God within God. Mm-hmm. And this is a very exciting time, as we all know about the changes that are happening in our cosmos, that we are reaching the farthest edge right now of a massive vibrational shift. It's not only a 5,000 year plus or minus world age shift, it's also a 26,500 some odd year shift. And when those happen, the big 26,000 shift, usually the beings evolving within that particular time-space continuum undergo such influence cosmologically that they're able to jumpstart or jump to the next dimension of vibration. Well, for human beings on this planet, that means moving to fourth and fifth dimension. Mm-hmm. And we're at an accelerated rate of growth right now. And we've created through our thoughts and our feelings, through many, many lifetimes of incarnations, all kinds of use of the light. Miscreation of the light, wonderful creation with the light. It's all still made of the same stuff. The stuff of our creations is still just love. The only difference between anything we've ever created is the vibratory rate. Now, the reason we're awakening as twin flames is because as soul matter in your multidimensional level, you can actually draw forth the highest vibratory potential of the substance of love from that Big Bang, the ongoing moment of creation, where your soul is in its full complementary form. And through the arc of your consciousness, literally, return that vibration of love through your own physical heart field and emanate it out. And when you do, the law of attraction starts to reattune every electron that contains the light into its highest vibratory potential. So as you can see, a very small number of twin flames can literally raise the vibratory level of the love on this planet to its fullest potential.
So what are the practices? How can we do that?